When Hamilton walked into Maranello, they braced for change, but no one expected a seismic shift. Today is 20th July 2025, just 7 days before the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. The paddock is buzzing. Ferrari's SF25 has limped through the first half of the season, struggling under compromised ride height and hampered rear balance. The team's hopes now hinge on a last-ditch upgrade arriving in Spa, a radical rear suspension overhaul. Enter Lewis Hamilton, now a red driver with 7 world titles etched into his bones. Critics say he's muted, still finding his feet after 11 years in Mercedes' cocoon. But rumor has it, Hamilton arrived at Magello this week and shocked the garage with his instinctive feedback, forcing engineers to question everything. Picture this, in a discreet Magello filming day under grey skies, Hamilton climbed into the SF25, pressed the car through corners, and emerged with data that didn't just highlight problems, it shouted solutions. Leclerc, Ferrari's senior performance engineer with an inside track on Hamilton from Mercedes days, reportedly shouting from the rooftops to amplify Lewis's voice, not as a backup plan, but as the heartbeat of Ferrari's rebound. The paddock is abuzz. If Hamilton's input steers this upgrade to success in Spa, it won't be just an improvement, it'll be a declaration, conspiracy or calculated genius. The broadcast showed clean laps. The data told a rebellion in real time. Behind closed garages at Magello, while the world watched summer sunsets, Hamilton was writing a different kind of script, one not meant for cameras. Ferrari called it a filming day, but insiders whispered, it's not footage they came for, it's confirmation. The SF25, still bruised from inconsistent grip and a stubbornly high ride height, finally received its long-awaited upgrade, a redesigned rear suspension meant to restore aero balance and unlock aggressive setups. But that wasn't the story. The story? Hamilton's silent standoff with the car. Lap after lap, he adjusted brake bias manually through corners, not to fix the car, but to expose its resistance. And after just 11 laps, telemetry highlighted what Ferrari failed to admit. The original geometry had been choking performance all season. Leclerc's laps? Smooth but polite, respectful to the system. Lewis? Ruthless. He demanded answers from every vibration, every micro lock under load. His conclusion was instant and brutal. This car's not unstable, it's silenced. In debrief, Hamilton's words weren't just technical, they were coded. Now we're closer to the car it wants to be. Who was that message really for? He didn't ask for changes, he demanded liberation. Inside Ferrari's post-test debrief room, the tension could be cut with a torque wrench. Engineers expected feedback. What they got was confrontation. Hamilton had brought data, but also a declaration. The SF25 must be rebuilt from its assumptions, not its updates. For months, Ferrari clung to conservative setups, masking flaws, hiding from instability. But Hamilton came to Magello to confront the truth. His request? Lower the ride height, strip the safe margins, run it on the edge like it was born to. But that terrified Maranello. The rear suspension redesign was meant to enable a more aggressive setup. Hamilton wanted to force it. Give me the window and I'll show you what this car really is, he reportedly told Leclerc. Leclerc's camp hesitated. Too soon, murmured some. Too risky. After all, Spa is no playground. It's a cathedral of speed and punishment. One wrong move and the car could snap, but Hamilton didn't flinch. Leclerc backed him. He's not guessing, he's remembering. The garage split into 2 factions, one loyal to legacy, the other to revolution. Someone whispered the time. The room stopped breathing. After Magello, Ferrari locked Hamilton in the simulator bay. The goal, test the Spa upgrade in virtual conditions. What emerged wasn't just data, it was a time bomb. Hamilton's lap, 141.7 on Spa configuration with the new rear suspension and his aggressive setup request granted. No wind tunnel tricks, no DRS abuse, just pure race simulation. For comparison, Leclerc's best virtual run, 143.2, with Ferrari's standard post-upgrade baseline. It wasn't just the delta, it was how Hamilton found it. He drove into Eau Rouge flat, not because of blind trust, but because the new damping balance actually allowed it. In Sector 2, where Ferrari traditionally bleeds time under lateral load, Hamilton's rotation in Les Combes exposed something chilling. The old suspension was killing mid-corner confidence. Engineers began questioning the architecture of the entire floor-rear interaction. Hamilton hadn't just adapted, he'd exposed a false foundation. The simulator operator reportedly turned to the head of performance and muttered, "He's not driving the SF25, he's unlocking it." But what happens when Leclerc sees those numbers? He didn't say a word, but his eyes screamed betrayal. It happened in a hallway, neutral zone between simulator control and the engineering floor. Leclerc walked in for his standard debrief, expecting routine feedback. What greeted him was a whispered number, passed like contraband, 141.7. At first, silence, then the flicker. He glanced at the data screen, sector times, steering inputs, brake traces. It wasn't just quicker, it was commanding. Every move showed ownership, not hesitation. He turned to his performance engineer. He got that with what setup? The response, hesitant. Hamilton's spec, lower ride, open rear, full aero trust. Leclerc nodded, but inside, something cracked. For years, Charles was the prince of Maranello. Every upgrade tailored to his feel, every engineer conditioned to his feedback. But now, the car speaks a new language, and it answers to Hamilton. Whispers grew louder. Leclerc drives the Ferrari. Hamilton leads it. No tension in public, no quotes. But in the next briefing, Leclerc overruled his setup team. He wants the Spa upgrade, but his way, not Hamilton's. A split philosophy is now a split strategy. From the outside, it's a team. From the inside, it's a duel dressed in red. With Spa looming, Ferrari made a chilling decision. Both drivers will run the new rear suspension, but not the same setup. What began as a technical evolution has exploded into philosophical rebellion. Leclerc's side pushed for a conservative map, slightly raised ride height, controlled rebound, mild brake migration. In essence, a refined SF25, predictable, familiar, safe. Hamilton? He's going to war. Max rake, sharp rotation, no mid-corner compromise. It's a throwback to his 2018-2020 Mercedes setups, where he danced on the knife's edge and called it poetry. Leclerc is caught in the crossfire, publicly neutral but privately aligned. He sees Hamilton's vision not as madness, but prophecy. He's not trying to tame the car, he's setting it free. Leclerc reportedly told Ferrari strategists, this isn't experimentation, it's selection. By Q3 in Spa, one of these philosophies will be validated, and the other buried. The garage is tense, 2 briefing rooms, 2 energies, 1 fight. And yet, someone inside leaked Hamilton's Spa race plan, not to media, to Charles. Before he saw the track, Hamilton saw the betrayal. Friday morning at Spa, the air thick, not with mist, but with mistrust. As Hamilton reviewed his final stint plans, a line of brake bias modulation caught his eye, mirrored line for line in Leclerc's simulator logs. Identical lift points, identical tire ramp sequence, his exact strategy exposed. Only 5 people had access to both datasets, and one of them had whispered Hamilton's plan straight into the other garage. Whether by mistake or malice, it didn't matter. The damage was done. Lewis didn't rage, he simply changed everything. Switched his tire preparation laps, altered liftoff zones into Blanchimont, modified regen modes. The Hamilton who emerged for FP1 was not reactive, he was provoking. By FP2, Leclerc's side looked confused. Their setup, based on mirrored strategy, no longer aligned with what they expected. Lewis had vanished from their radar. He's playing a different game now, one strategist muttered. This wasn't just driver versus driver, it was now spy versus ghost. Inside the paddock, eyes turned to one man, the only person who knew both Hamilton's mind and Ferrari's walls, Leclerc. If you knew what I know, you'd be on my side. Saturday night post-qualifying, inside Ferrari's inner sanctum, tension thickened into open fracture. Hamilton had just delivered a lap that defied expectations, third on the grid, while Leclerc languished in 7th, blaming instability. But it wasn't the result that shattered the calm. It was what came next. During the strategy briefing, Hamilton asked a simple question. Are we racing with courage or with fear? No one answered. Silence lingered until he turned directly to Vasseur and said, because if we're afraid of my data being too honest, then we're not trying to win. We're trying to survive. Leclerc avoided eye contact. Engineers shuffled papers. Leclerc, arms crossed, remained still. The message wasn't technical, it was spiritual. A challenge not just to the car, but to Ferrari's identity. Then came the final blow. Hamilton stood, looked around the room, and delivered the line that would echo through Maranello all week. I'm not here to fit in, I'm here to find out who still wants to fight. The meeting ended early. No handshakes, no unity, only silence. And yet, in that silence, Ferrari may have found exactly what it needed. Not comfort, but confrontation. If this is the rebirth of the Scuderia, it begins not with celebration, but with a reckoning.